Hi there, welcome to another video. Today I am helping out a friend of mine and installing the waste strap under the sink. I've installed the sink already, which is not that difficult and not that much of a big deal to install, because basically when you get the sink, it has the retaining clips on each side. So you just loosen them from the bottom, and as soon as the retaining clips are loose, chances are that will have some silicone around it as well on the old ones. Just pull it all off, clean the area, buy a new sink for the same dimensions, fix the retaining clips back on the sink, put silicone around, push the sink back in, tighten the retaining clips, and job done. Ideally you want to put this tap in as well before the sink goes in, or you can put it in after, it's up to you. I put the waste straps in before I put the sink in, so the waste straps are already in there. The thing that's not there at the moment is the it's a double sink, double basin sink. So there's two waste pipes coming out. So we're going to put an S-trap S-trap waste pipe across. So it'll just connect to that, and then there would be an S-trap on this side, and that would just go in, and the dishwasher would connect on this side on the right hand side. So yeah, that's all going to happen now. I have done this before on the video, which I haven't published yet, but I'll probably publish that soon at some point as well. Let's see how it goes. I'm not too fond of these the plastic material that these waste pipes are made of nowadays. You can tell that they're quite soft and flimsy. I'm sure you can get better ones, but the owner actually decided to get these. He said, "Oh, I want them." So I said, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll see what I can do." Obviously, they would work. It's just a one-off exercise. Once you put them in, you don't have to touch them again. So they just work as long as they're sealed properly and tightened just to the right tightness. Over tightening them also makes it leak. Leaving them loose, that also makes them leak. So yeah. So there, I bought the Alpine double basin waste strap that comes like this. When you buy it like this, you think, well, how am I supposed to fit this? So yeah, there is a bit of a challenge here, but let's see how it goes. I thought I'd make a video on this one because I haven't done one before from start to finish, so hopefully this would kind of help other users who want to carry on to replace the waste trap. It's quite common now, this. So let's begin. Need few tools to, well, a few bits and pieces to have is a Boss White putty. That's quite helpful sometimes. We all know what this is. This is like the UPVC thread. It's called, what is it called? It's called the PTFE tape. That's the one, PTFE tape. Also the Flowplast solvent cement. That's going to be used to connect these waste pipes joints. So they run here. That will connect into that. Pretty noisy in here. It's quiet. And also some silicone. I prefer to use CT1, which is one of the best ones you can get. There's so many out there, but CT1 does the job for me. And I'm going to use that. I'll just take the cupboard doors off right now, because they would always come in the way. Sometimes they even one door comes off. Right. As you can see, now we've got more room to work with around here. So let's see, where are we? I may be able to extend the camera slightly. That's it. It'll stand properly. Sorry about the movement on this. But yeah, here we are. So let's load the CT1 in the gun. So that would be, that goes in. That's ready. Right, I've already chopped off the tip and everything at an angle, which is quite good. So okay, that's on. It's good to put this on because if you don't, then the whole thing dries off and stuff, even though it dries off anyway. But yeah. Okay, let's put this back on. Yeah, here we go, that's all in. I always say there's no sort of master plan on how to do this. You just come down and check everything and get on with it pretty much. So we're looking at the waist here. This is open here, then I don't need this, so gotta get rid of this as well. There we go, that comes off. So now that we don't have this at all, let's get rid of that. And now we're left with a smelly pipe. And before we do that, touch anything, let's just open this up. Right, let's see what we've got here. Instructions are, that's how it should look like. Take a look at it out first. And then another set. I'm going to put them in different bags because they all need to be open anyway. I guess they come from different companies, that's why we put them in different bags. Right, so let's create the S-trap first. So that's the seal around that. And we need to most likely connect that to that, which will create the S. Right, and now we need to connect the quite important to get all the connectors correct. So according to this, there we go, yeah, that connects to that. So we've got that here. Getting there. And that's the washing machine outlet. It did say that it comes with 2 outlets. 1 and 2, and this one is the one that I don't need to use because we have to have it on that side of the basin. And what we're going to do is going to blank this one out. So the blanking it out, we just put this blue piece in there, press it in, and just you need to press this in place. And then tighten this up. Right, okay. They're never very clear with these instructions, how they want things to be done, but sometimes you have to trying to do it yourself. Right, okay, so it was my mistake. So that blue piece actually needs to go into that to seal it off. We still need to put this in, even though we're not going to use it. And that creates the actual seal. Bit of a strange concept to put the pipe in, terminate it, but I think just in case for future purposes. So we're not going to use that. And that's one side done, and that goes backwards there. And now we need to connect the long side. Well, now this would then connect to that. So now we've got two basins. And what we have here is we need the seal to go around the pipe. That would lock it. No, it's not this one. Different types of seals here. So let me have a quick look. Right, so it seems that the rubbers are all the same. Just check them all out. So this needs to slide inside there. Move it all in. And that needs to go in there. So once that's in there, that would then lock it, but I just think I've forgotten the don't need to sort of be a plumber to do all of this stuff. It's just common sense, a lot of it. And then that binds onto that. The rubber seal just needs to go in. Right now I'm not using any silicone or anything. The rubber would just do the trick, and that would be enough because it's all new, so hopefully it won't leak. If it leaks, then I'll seal it all up. Usually I just put silicone anyway, just to avoid any issues. Right, this one goes in there. Sorry, this one would go in there, and this one would go in there, and these two will then connect to the waste trap. We can probably see just like that. This thing here is the adjuster, so what we're doing here is that will come in and out to adjust the width of the pipe. Obviously there's never any guarantees on anything, but you can always try. That will go in there. Looks like this will all adjust okay. There's a lot of room here. Ideally I wouldn't want to use such a long pipe. It's just a bit pointless. So, well, I guess it works. The longer it is, the more time will take to go through. Right, as we have a lot of room, we can shorten these and it will go up here like that, and then but we need it slightly more so the water can travel and it wouldn't just sort of overflow too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten these, both of them, cut them and then see how it goes. So let me just shorten them out. Doesn't have to be any particular size, just take a measuring tape if need be and just measure it how much you want to take off. So say about 4 centimeters, about here. I'll take it off. Sounds right, and then we can recap in a minute. here we are, just cut them to the length I needed them to be. So what we're going to do now is to basically, I think this piece is all sealed on the thing. So let's open this up. Just get this on the camera as well. I'm going to open these, which come as part of the and we're going to use the rubber that came with this pipe, put it inside there so it forms a nice, so that needs to seal inside there, and what that would do is connect into that and form a seal. You can feel the rubber tightening there. You can feel the rubber that it's actually tightening now. Here we are, there we are. Do the same with the other one. Take the rubber that came with it, pop it in, make sure it sits in the groove, and then once it's all done, that's it, that's all done. Here we go, it's all sealed. Open this up, take the old stuff out, put this in, that's all in. No need to over tighten it. You can feel that it's just, the rubber is just getting squeezed, and that's it. Once those two things are in, those two pipes are in, we've got to now connect these two together like that. There we are. Before we do that, there's two things we need to do. Is to pop the cap lid back on and push the rubber in as much as we can. Make sure it's not twisted and straight. Do the same with the other one. Pop the rubber in. Sorry, pop the cap back in first and then the rubber. And what that rubber would do is create a seal to join in. That's all it is. So now if we push this back into place, make sure it's all level. In fact, you may want to slightly have a tip on it like that, so when the water comes in, it goes through, so you can have a slight tip on it. You'll see, so that's tightened. It will allow you a bit of flexibility to sort of tip it slightly, and I would do that, or just slightly downwards, just to make sure that the water that's coming through just doesn't stay in there and just runs through nice and easily. Don't think there is any. I'm sure even if it was straight it would go through anyway, but right, now that can be also tightened. You tighten the center piece, tighten the end pieces, tighten this piece here, tighten the top bits, make sure they're all tight. This is not, we're not going to use that, so we can leave that as it is. In fact, I could probably, now that I can see it, which way it's facing, maybe turn it over like that upwards, because that's already sealed and closed, and we're not going to use it, so let's leave that open upwards. There we go. Right, now the other part is to now connect the main waste pipe to connect to the S-trap, and also we will be using this, and I'm not going to block this out, so I'm going to just pop this in as it should be. I don't think there's any, this doesn't come with any seals or anything, which is odd, so I would actually use some silicone around this, because I'm not too keen on just pushing a plastic bit in there. So I would just use, let me just put in, there we go, just a little bit around the edges. Personal preference, I don't think there's a, some might say, oh no, it's going to, you know, you won't be able to use it again and this, that, the other, but so we can leave it slightly pointing upwards when the water goes in. I know the washing machine would automatically, or the dishwasher would automatically have a pump in it to push it out, but we could probably just leave it slightly at an angle. I would. Not that it matters. So that's all set. That's to go. That's for the dishwasher. That's one basin. That's the other one. That's sealed. That's the S-trap, so the water would go in and it will then flow up. This will stop the smell from coming up. That's what the S-trap does. In the old days I've seen 2 S-traps as well. I don't see a big deal about it, because when they already made one of these, I wouldn't challenge that this doesn't work. It's come from a very reputable company, Mac Alpine Plumbing, and they know what they're doing. And as the regs change year by year, you know, it's I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. So yeah. Now this is a, I think it's 40 pipe, and what I need to do now is to create connection from this pipe to the other one. Hopefully it should work. Let's see. And I'll just recap. Let me just tidy this all up. So what I've done is I've connected the pipe connector in between the joiner that will join the outlet to an extension, and then we're going to use that to connect there. That would connect there, and then the S-trap would connect there and it will go through. It's all about making the right adjustments. So I've just made the cuts, so I'm just joining it with this solid cement. It's amazing stuff, probably one of the best things I ever used. I'm quite fond of this. So in order to use this solvent cement, the way I've used it is to just take the pipe, take the brush, spin it around, make sure it's covers all the areas once. Take the same thing again, inside the other pipe, spin it around, make sure it covers all the areas, pop it in. Actually mine was to actually spin it outwards because this one's going outside, so here. This has to be not inside, it's going to be outside. Here we are, spin it over. Now we know it's all covered, pop it in, and it'll nicely go snug fit all the way in. Then all we've got left is the top bit to connect to. This I'm not going to stick right now, because I just want to make sure that we've got all the adjustments correct before I connect to it. In a couple of seconds these pipes will be connected and sealed, so I don't need to worry about them. I just need to then connect this piece here over, and then that would then another piece joins into that, and that would be it. So let's see. Right, so that's all now connected, and I have adjusted the S-trap so that can now meet with the waste pipe out there. Just need to now make the final seals and tighten them all. So that's all tightened, that's all tightened, these are all tight as well, as much as possible. So that's all tight, yep. And now we've got this elbow that's there, and then I can connect the S-strap straight into the elbow underneath, which you may or may not see. I'll let me show it to you underneath here. So that's where it connects, so that will then go straight into there, and then that will then connect straight into the waste with a bit of adjustment. We can obviously, it all needs to do like that. So that's all connected that way, and that's then connected to the back. Oops, sorry about the camera. So yeah, that's connected there. That would connect here, and then once that's all done, I'll just have to tighten all of this up. So just going to tighten everything up now. I think that's all done, and then I'll recap everything what's been done. So bear with me on this. Sorry about the camera movement. Just so I can show you, there are a few seals that would go onto the extra seals, I would say, that go onto the pipe there, which is connecting to the main outlet. So they come with the red, black, and also the red one as well. That would then, connect into that. So that all needs to go on. But before I do that, as I said, we need to just make sure that it's in the right position. So I think that's where I want it to be. That's all looking good. That's all fine. There's no stresses on the pipe, to make sure there's no stress on the pipe itself, because if you see extra bends or the pipe is being pushed or pulled in any direction, then that's not a good sign, because A, that's going to leak, and secondly it will not work properly either. So yeah, just make sure everything is stress free in terms of when it connects. It just has to be loosely all connected, and then we can just fasten all the joints afterwards. So yeah, this seems to be okay. Once we know where the connections is going to be, and because we're going to glue this pipe together, I just want to put a marker on it here. So we're going to put a mark like that there, so that goes this side, this direction, and we can even put a mark on this one as well, so we know how far that would go in, and we can even put that mark that way, and we know how that is. So we can put one mark, and we can put another mark on the other side, so we know that it's lining up correctly. There we go. So yeah, so what that does is, when we start glue this together, we can position the pipe in the right direction, because the way it is right now, if we don't put the marker in, we pull the pipe out, we wouldn't know which way it is, and then once the glue only gives you a few seconds to dry, and then it'll just be too late. So what we'll have to now do is take everything apart, glue this pipe together. This is a push fit, that doesn't matter, but this won't be, because this will be glued in, so I have to make sure, just like these two are glued in, but that doesn't matter, because that's the bottom part. This is the one that's going to connect, so we have to make sure that the markings are correct. So yeah, it's always good to use a pen or a marker to mark these pipes, which direction we want it to dry in, and then hopefully that should be it. Alright, so just let me glue this together and I'll recap again. Hi there, just to recap now on the work that is now being completed. Let me just show you. So we have now the double waste pipe connected. Zoom out a bit. And also, let me just adjust the camera as well, so I know. There we are, that's better. So that's now connected to that. That's all connected, and also the pipe is now connected to the where are we? Here we are, to the main waste section, to the pipe, and this piece is all now, this section here is all glued in with the solid cement, and up to here, and then this is all push fit from here, and it goes into the S-trap, which goes up. Stops the water would always rest in that, so it stops the smell from coming up into the sink, and then that water will travel down that way. This piece here we're not using, this section here we're only using the one provided on this side of the sink, so we're using that because the washing machine is on the right hand side of that, so the pipe will come out from there and it will connect here, and then the cold supply of the pipe will connect to that pipe there, and the sink is already connected to that, so we've got the hot and cold, and that's the sink. Oops, sorry, that's the sink there, that's all connected. So I think this is going to now work. I don't have any water coming in at the moment because the supply is turned off for now, because there's some work going on in the bathroom upstairs. So once that's on, hopefully we should be able to test this, and that's pretty much ready to go. So that's how you connect the Alpine plumbing kit for 2-bowl sink. That's the instructions that were provided with it. Oops, sorry. Not very good with this camera, am I? So yeah, it's pretty straightforward if you ask me, but it's just the way the pipes are supplied. They're all in bits and pieces, but they don't tell you to cut it or stuff, I don't think. Well, it does actually, yeah, it does say it's cut as required. So yeah, that's what I've done. I've cut this section at the bottom because it was way too long and it was not adjusting to the pipe. So once it's all in, this is all connected, so it looks pretty neat if you ask me, and it doesn't have many joints as well, in terms of, you know, just 1, 2, and then just the one that allow you to adjust. This is quite nice, this joint here. This allows you to select different types of sink distances, so that extends and compresses. So yeah, that's quite nice to have as well. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Any questions, happy to answer. I haven't used any silicone at the moment. I might do, but it depends. When I turn the water on, if I see a slight drip of water coming in from anywhere, I might either tighten it or might use some silicone inside. So basically, if I say silicone, basically all you do is just open this up, right? You see the rubber? So the seal is not being made. So what you do is you just put some silicone around here, and or even you can remove the rubber, put silicone around, push the rubber back in, and then tighten it up, and basically give it sort of 12 hours to dry, and that would definitely create a proper seal, if it hasn't done already. I mean, I think that only happens when the pipe is under stress and it's not straight. That's also the reason why the pipe would probably start leaking. But otherwise, you don't need anybody else. You can do this yourself. Piece of cake. Just need a hacksaw in this instance to cut the pipes, and also obviously the solvent cement, which I mentioned to you before, which is a great help, which is one of these products, solvent cement on the push fit pipes, and that's it. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. I will update more videos. I've got a few other things to do today, which I will add as well. But until next time, bye for now.